Greetings, Turtletarians. This is your boy Ryan Guy.
Hey, it's your boy Eric Crosby.
And you are listening to Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only community sport podcast dedicated to the ongoing TMNT journey, all the way from the very beginning.
That way.
Until somehow I learn how to quit Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I don't think I ever will. I'm back on it. I'm back on it. Golden Deer run. You know what I'm saying? Golden Deer.
Oh, nice.
I've done the other two houses. You know what I'm saying? All the way through. Yeah. I've done Azure Moon. I've done the Crimson, whatever it is. I've done both of those. I've done all that stuff, and now I'm on that Golden Deer, clawing the boys. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? And girls.
Did you do the thing where the story, there's a halfway through you can make another decision that's like a extra stage or like an extra side story? I forget because it's been forever since I've done it. I think it's where you side with the church. There's one where you do and you don't depend, but I think you do it with every house or at least one of the houses. I forget.
So I've only done 2 full playthroughs. I did Blue Lions first, and then I did Black Eagle, and I've done one of each.
Okay.
But I'm curious to see how the Golden Deer is weird. Because they're definitely the most uncompetitive house. It's kind of agreed that they are weird. Like I just find myself leaning back. Like I already recruited Sylvain from Blue Lion because I just Blue Lion's my mama duck, so I'm just on that. So I'm just like, I need his stylish self in my class, obviously. If you haven't played Fire Emblem Three Houses and you like JRPGs with turn-based combat, it is fantastic. It's a great game.
So good. So good. So until I can apparently, I guess, get satisfied with that game, we're going, which I probably never will be. It's probably going to be a forever classic for me. Yeah.
So this is your warning. We are live on YouTube. Did you know that? If you're on YouTube, then fantastic. You can just plug your ears and not listen to the rest of this. But if you're not, or if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe to our channel. As well as hit the bell icon, get all the notifications. We're here every Thursday. You know what I mean? Whatever technology willing. And it's great stuff. We have all of our news, which if you can't catch the live show, we cut that into individual videos and all this different stuff. So go check all that out. And if you're hanging out on the internet while you're at it, just go ahead and share the stream so everybody knows we're here and people can find the show. This episode is brought to you by 2 wonderful patrons, as every episode is. And if you would like to have your name shouted out and have episodes dedicated to you, you can go to patreon.com, check out Turtle Soup Show, see what we've done in making this podcast, see that we have awesome kind of rewards for all of our patrons. You can join as little as $1, and every single patron helps, especially when my motherboard just died and still in the process of getting that fixed. And big shout out to my man August for letting me use his laptop again. You know what I'm saying? To get here on Turtle Soup. But the 2 patrons that we are going to shout out today are David Wagner and Blade Slinger 71113. Thanks so much, everybody, and you 2 in particular for being patrons. And this one's for you. So sit back, relax, grab a cold one or a hot one, whatever you want to do, and enjoy this episode because it's all yours. You know what I mean? And
it is all there.
And it's all you. So speaking of things that are for all, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
What particular part of the journey are we on today, Eric? What are we going to be covering today?
Ryan, we are taking steps into almost technically about the halfway point of 1998. And made to be specific, we're going to be reviewing Image Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 3, if you're nasty, number 15 from May of 1998. And so that's the step that we're taking in the journey this season.
Yeah. And we're going to see you on the astral plane. You know what I mean?
We are. I do know what you mean.
Astral plane.
Yeah, astral plane.
So before we get into that review, no news today. We're gonna get back on that next week, but so it's gonna be a short and sweet one today. We do have an email though from Mr. John Klein that is entitled "Shredded and Splintered," and he says, "Like City at War, I think Shredded and Splintered should be used throughout the mythos. Also, it would be a fun episode title, but probably more for issue 17/191. And I don't know exactly what that reference. If it's issue 17 of Image, then I guess we'll be seeing that. I don't know about 191, but we'll figure that out.
We will.
Though this would probably would have a fun play on body swapping, which is definitely a thing that happens in this upcoming issue.
But also, I think he could he be referencing Adventures, because with Krang having his head on Shredder, that might be from Adventures. Yeah, that was a little weird.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
For Shredder on that one,
but we enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. We did, but I'll never forget that. That was that was some body horror business there.
It was.
So we asked a question last episode about episode length, just in general. You know, we did. Mainly it was just me. I was like, how does everyone feel about the longer episodes? Like, you know, is there anything we could like work on, whatever?
Yeah.
And John says, as far as episode length, you know me, I'm all for longer episodes. Yeah. I have to get to work and home, and might as well have the hosts with the most in my ears. I imagine most people seeing a long episode just listen in chunks and stop when they can. Mm-hmm. Do that with similar length YouTube videos where I think, well, that's the amount of time I can commit. I'll listen to more later. Yeah. But bless those who can commit to watching the entire episode in one sitting, doing the work there. You know what I mean? And that was mainly where my thoughts were, you know, because I've talked to Eric about this kind of behind the curtain too, just about like, the length of the YouTube show in particular. Like if you're watching us live, like how long is too long on a Thursday night? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But it definitely has the rewatch and re-listen value for sure.
It does.
He closes by saying, referencing Image, glad that Death Watch nonsense is finally behind us. Johnny Rayburn, more like Johnny overstay his welcome burn. Am I right?
Oh, you are right.
Got him.
Yes.
Great job connecting the dots on how the creative team wrote Splinter away, so they have the boys in green handle their own business. But then further noticing that what the team did with the other turtles to get Raph to become Shredder, I hadn't connected that before. That's the analysis I come to the deep dive in daddies for.
Ooh,
then he says, "Love you too."
Aw,
get it? Instead of "love you too," it's "love
right,
you."
Right, love you too. Oh,
John Klein.
John Klein, we love you very
John.
much.
Yes, thank you. That's fantastic. That was a very interesting conversation that we had. I believe that was last episode, just talking about like, okay, so like what the writing and Image, you know, it seems that that's their move when they want someone to have their own kind of like movement and their own kind of like story, and they don't want other people involved. They will just put them like on the moon. Yeah, like they will just like put them like. Right. Yeah. Throw them out in the backyard and put them way off, you know, so there's no chance they interact. And so thanks a lot, John. That was nice. If you guys want to write us emails, we do read them on the show. Just turtlesoupshow@gmail.com, and we'll get your writings up on the show.
Indeed. So
I feel like, man, I need to ask you how you've been or something, because I feel like it'd be really weird to go straight to content. I'm sure that there's some people that are listening to this. They're like, oh, so you don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
And instead of getting right to the comic, you're going to stop and talk about whatever instead. They're probably like, wow.
But I think most people know that that's what we do. We've been doing that for almost 300 episodes. So, I mean, this is nothing new. But I'm doing good.
That's true.
We just got all of our new carpet in. So that's that happened last Friday. And
should we start calling you Johnny Lee Rugburn?
Oh, yes, you should. Because it's like I'm just rolling around with my cats like constantly. I'm like, this is amazing. And it's wild what like bright, clean floors will do to you, like for your psyche. Because they told us that because we had this really ugly tile that was under the hardwood floor that got messed up, and which has instigated our 3-year plan to try to move. And so we ripped that up and it had the tile underneath it. And so they're like, hey, well, if you break all this tile, it'll save you about like $1,000. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, more butts that I got in my butt, then wait, that doesn't make any sense.
What?
But what? But so I got the old hammer and I just, thored my way through it and got it all up. But then like there's just the black just whatever the hell was underneath the tile, and it just does something to you psychologically, just seeing that day after day, and
just
like
seeing that crap.
Yeah. So then when they laid it all down, like Shannon, my wife, and I, we just were like just mesmerized by it. But we had everything like in the kitchen, just all stacked up, and in like some of the other rooms. So it felt like we were in a new place. And it's like you have a clean slate, and it was amazing. And it's just like that just kind of like just does something to you. It's very strange, But yeah, it's nice. I think I've finally stopped shocking myself because apparently I create a lot of electricity.
The thing.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much where I've been. I've been going through again some of the older episodes and then finding the issues and finding stuff to make Patreon rewards with. So if there's like a scene or if there's like any kind of joke or anything in the issues or anything that we did on the show that you'd like to see as a button or a Patreon reward, I'm not saying it will get made, but it might get made. Who knows?
But your suggestions are welcome.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're working on that, and that's been pretty much it. How about you, man?
I've been doing well. Yeah, it's been kind of chill. Let's see, just trying to hunt down a motherboard for this computer, trying to find the one that's the right price, all this stuff. Let's see. Been kind of chilling out a little more in the house just because my wife has a book coming out in a little bit, and we're trying to really not get sick. That's like one of the major things where it's like she can't be sick during that. So we are we are way more cautious than we have been in the just in the recent past. Like we've just been like very like mask everywhere, like don't play games, like kind of limiting a lot of contact with other people and stuff like that. So that's led to things being a little kind of isolated here.
Yeah.
That's probably what got me back on that Fire Emblem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Just
it
was kind of like, if I doing that, I ordered a Pro controller because I just got really tired of using I don't have Joy-Con drift, but I just got really tired of using like the individual Joy-Cons in the little frame. It's just too small and feels weird. For my hands. It's daddy's hands. It's rough. And so I got one of those. It was like like $30. It's like not an official one. Yeah, but it works really well. Like it can wake the Switch up, which is nice.
That's cool.
So that's cool. Not a lot of third parties do that. No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Nope, not wired. And it's kind of cool. You can find it on Amazon. Like it has a kind of a cracked kind of pattern on it. And it has LEDs inside that you can change the color of and stuff.
Oh, that's neat.
Apparently every pattern is different because they all crack different. So like there's big cracks, little cracks, mine are kind of medium. But I don't know. So that's been making the gameplay kind of nice, obviously.
That's cool. Right.
Man, that's kind of been it. Yeah, like it's just been a very chill time. Going to a baseball game tomorrow with Father Preston.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
Alicia and Brad. It's gonna be a good time. They're giving out retro Devil Rays basketball jerseys.
Oh, interesting. They just give them
apparently, yep, that's a handout.
Huh.
Yeah, they have games like where they like usually on weekends where they have like a handout. Usually it could be like a bobblehead or like some other different stuff or a shirt or something.
Right.
So those look kind of cool. And we're also apparently they just added this. We're also getting a Shark Week handbag, like a Discovery Channel Shark Week themed carrying bag, which is gonna be really good for all the jerseys we get, I guess. Like you know what I mean? Like we're gonna have a bag inside a bag inside a bag with jerseys in it. That's basically what's gonna be at the stadium that day.
Well, so it's funny you mentioned Shark Week. I made a reference to it, and then I made a reference to the song that you did earlier this week or something. And it got me thinking, and then you just brought it up now, so that just reinforced it. But like Shark Week didn't always exist. Like it's not one of those things that's just always been around, and then Discovery Channel's just like, let's film Shark Week. It's something somebody had to be in a meeting and said, I got an idea. It's kind of crazy. How about a whole week of just sharks? What are we going to call it? Shark Week. Okay. Do you think they had any idea how much of a cultural phenomenon that it would have ever become? Because
I don't think so. I don't think they ever went to it like, oh, this is going to become a huge cultural thing. I think they were just like, this is just something that we do.
Right.
And it really turned into some big stuff. It's not as big anymore, I don't think, because people don't necessarily like just sit there and watch cable television anymore. That's just not a thing that a lot of people do. It used to be like, before you had streaming and stuff, like it's just like, oh, like the TV is just on Shark Week.
Right.
Like it just is, and that's what it is.
Just leave it there. Yeah.
But no, I don't think they ever had that thing. And it's weird to see like a Shark Week promotion at a baseball game.
Oh yeah.
it's very like interesting to see like, okay, so you're like trying to push that again, like wait, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Like, very strange, very strange.
It is. But I guess the one thing I wish that would have happened like serendipitously with Shark Week is if they would have brought back street sharks, because Jossum is such like a really cool phrase that like I just think more, my wife says it all the time, but Shannon, my wife, and it's grown on me a lot. Like I didn't grow up with street sharks, like they were a little bit after my time, but I appreciate them for what they are, and I just think that more people should say Jossum. So maybe that's me, but yeah. So Ryan,
yes,
you what?
I was just about to do something.
Then do it.
I don't know if it's advised.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to do an impromptu Turtles come out and fight the Street Sharks.
Oh, dang. I don't know enough about the Street Sharks, though. That's the only problem. So I guess we'll have to go with what we know.
All right, so we know that they did skateboards. Their skateboards were their big thing. Okay.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
And yeah, they did the skateboard thing, and they're like mutant sharks, effectively. They're anthropomorphic sharks, and they say Jossum.
They say I got
that. And they're kind of like the turtles because they basically just fight and stuff. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Like they do have more attitude than the turtles. Though. They definitely had more like kind of like they're bad boys. Almost like Battletoads a little bit. They were a little bit like, like the thing about Street Sharks and Battletoads, they were all kind of answers to the TMNT. They were weird anthropomorphic animals.
Right.
That were like a team that like fought villains.
Yeah, like that's how I took it, and I kind of felt like they were just ripoffs. But then, like I recognized though they had some legitimacy. Some of the toys were cool. They weren't my scale, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sure. But yeah, okay. So they came out in 1994. They had 3 seasons, and that's 40 episodes, 3 seasons, and yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get like a real.
Mitch Fletcher says the Street Sharks arch enemy is Dr. Paranoid.
Oh my goodness.
Which makes sense.
Oh my god. Yeah, so just reading through this there's a lot here. I can't summarize all that real quick on the show, but yeah, well the thing, okay, so real quick, like turtles come out and fight the Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Okay, it could just be see, this is one of those things with when the 2 heroes meet, and then it's like the biggest resolution to those problems is just having a conversation. That's all you got to do. The problem here, what proceeds to be even more of the problem, is that when you have, I'm assuming the Street Sharks are teenagers and not like middle-aged men.
Yeah, I believe that they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you have teenagers with attitude, much like how the Power Rangers were. So the Street Sharks are just teenagers with attitude, and so they've got all this anger and aggression. They're not wanting to talk; they're just wanting to hit something. And so the turtles, arguably, have a little bit more maturity, oddly enough, than a lot of these other things that came out that ripped them off. And so I could see that they would be in some sort of situation where the Street Sharks are misunderstood. Everyone's thinking they're a menace. And then the turtles are trying to be like, well, we know how that feels, but these people are just misunderstood, you know? And so they would try to like quell that, or try to meet them on their level, I guess. Because if they're Street Sharks, that means they live in do they live in the sewers too? Or because they eat the street, right? Like they surf.
No, I think they're just around, man. So the basic premise is that a doctor created a way to anthropomorphize animals by blending them with human DNA.
Okay.
And eventually the main guy, his 4 sons are transformed into the Street Sharks. So they are like teenagers.
Okay.
And they run around a fictitious place called Fission City. So that's a thing.
Wait, fishing
fission, fission, like nuclear fission.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay, but also Fission City.
Yes.
Sorry.
Fission City. So I am gonna say that. So you're all right. So here's the deal. This show came out in 1994. The Turtles are well on their way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like actually, they're kind of starting to like phase out a tiddly bit. And by the end of Street Sharks in 1997, as you can full well see, the animated series is like donezo. And here's these Street Sharks that are also bidding adieu. So I think what happened in my head, the way that they all right. So I think the initial fight is this. Is that Street Sharks feel like their time came too soon, that their show got cut off too soon. And the Turtles are like bandaging their own wounds from the end of the animated series, right? So everyone's a little cranky. And apparently, like on Donnie's interwebs, you know what I'm saying? He starts picking up this message board chat system where the Street Sharks are talking mad shit about the Turtles and saying like, you know, they're sitting here whining and crying about their show being over, but like we only got like 3 seasons,
right? And
like we had a lot more to give. And then of course Donnie's on there like talking trash at like 2 a.m, like, yeah, well, I mean, like anonymously as like, you know, does machines or whatever, 1985 or whatever his shit is, and he's like, well, if you think about it, you know, you didn't have enough to even keep it going more than that, and we have a 10-season show and all this stuff like that, and they've busy figured out who it is because Donnie can't keep it down. Then Raph gets mad, and now I think that they set up a meeting. I think that they set up a face-to-face in New York City. I think the Street Sharks come to New York City trying to find new fortune. You know what I'm saying? And the Turtles are there, and they're like, "You ain't gonna step on our territory."
No,
like,
no,
we're trying to reignite our career here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Street Sharks, I think they come over and they start trying to act like they're trying to get their show back because they're trying to be like all like super edgy and stuff. And the Turtles like, not in my city.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So how do they come out and fight this problem? Because that's the kind of the premise I'm seeing. Is that there's heroes that don't have a show anymore.
Right.
And now they're like, all right, so like what are we doing? What are we gonna do?
So this is kind of like along the same lines as the Turtles come out and fight that contest we did, where the Turtles themselves, everything that happened in the animated series happened, but it was also a TV show, and they were aware it was a TV show. Yeah. And so that's the world we're in. And the Street Sharks, same thing. Okay, cool. So they want to have a fight. The Turtles, they're like, okay, we'll meet you there, because at the same time they're both trying to reinvigorate their careers, and so they're like, okay, this could be some publicity, this could be something that we could do. It's kind of like whenever the has-been artist played the baseball games, kind of deal, sort of kind of like that. So they go out, but the Turtles have a strategy. The Turtles know a couple things about sharks because you can look that up on the internet like I just did. So sharks are colorblind, but they're not blind. So they've watched the animated series. They've watched the Turtles. They know their deal. So what the Turtles do, well, they're colorblind. See, I didn't think all the way through. I was going to say they don't wear their bandanas, so you don't know, or their belts, so you don't know which turtle's which. So yes, you can't see what's happening. You don't know. And so they're going to run some of that, and then really, like what?
Oh, that's really good, Eric. So here's what they do.
Okay.
So they wear their bandanas because Donnie. So this is Donnie being mega cocky because they're going to have a fight in the middle of New York City, and the whole city's going to see who's like got it and who's lame. You know what I'm saying? And the Street Sharks have a ton of motivation to beat the Turtles up because they're the new guys on the block. You know what I'm saying? And they've come to New York to look like some badasses to get another show going.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what the Turtles do, they're smart. Donnie's like, look, first we're going to take our belts off so you can't see our name from the initial. We're still going to wear our bandanas because the people know who we are, but the sharks don't know because they're colorblind.
Right.
And we're going to switch weapons around.
That's where I was going.
So that they're kind of like, oh yeah, like because they've probably done, they know who the Turtles are. You know what I'm saying? And they think they know how to beat each turtle at their own game. You know what I mean? With their own weapon, but it turns out they've all switched weapons. Yeah. So you got Raph with the nunchucks now. You know what I mean? So you think he's a silly one. Right. Raph comes and like takes your ass down, and you're like, wait,
like a wrecking ball.
That's not right. And then you got Donnie with his ninjato, And they go, oh, he's the leader. He's going to be the one like trying to make those smooth strikes. But Donnie's like looking for that range. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they get knocked on their ass again. And I'm just thinking that it just starts to go down like that.
I think that's how it gets going. But
sharks aren't ready.
They're not ready. But I think what the turtles realize, because I don't, now forgive me, Street Sharks fans, I don't remember if the Street Sharks could go vertical when they're, because I think they surf like, or they like can chomp through the streets or something. That's the one thing I remember from like the toy commercials. So I don't know if they could go up buildings, but let's assume they can't. So the fight keeps going and this and that. So what happens is Donatello then.
Really fast. I have to throw something in. So chat's been pretty good about this.
Okay.
Wooly Rhino's in the chat that says, "Oh yeah, it's an ongoing joke in Street Sharks to diss pizza. You can work that in, really fire Mikey up."
That's a great idea. So yeah, so that's
try to incorporate that into this climax that you're building.
So it's fighting and stuff like that. They fight, itchy, scratchy. You know what I'm saying? So Then they start insults because it's like it's probably evenly matched to some form or fashion. Because I think the turtles don't want to humiliate anybody because I think the turtles just in general have a little bit more humility, especially the '87 animated series turtles. So they're not wanting to like completely obliterate them, but the Street Sharks, like you said, have something to prove. Yeah. So they're like,
I think the turtles are more like. I think the turtles are more okay. So they've just been through all that crap with Dreg, right? Where Dreg ran that whole like propaganda campaign on them. It made them like terrifying. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're trying to run a similar kind of PR campaign. So they're not looking to really hurt anyone,
right?
But they're like doing the old alley-oop and like making them look like crap.
Yeah,
like they're striking them like they're like in self-defense. But that's how it looks to the people. I think the people are like, yo, there's these 4 shark kids and they're going nuts out here and the turtles are just trying to contain it.
Right.
So I think the turtles know, like, actually, you're trying to get your show back by beating us up in public. Like, oh, we're better than the turtles.
Yeah.
But our gambit is to make you look silly.
Yes.
And that's how we're going to get our show back. Because our show is based on us doing the Robodope. Right. If we show we can still do the Robodope, then we'll get our show back.
Right. But they start making fun of the pizza, and that gets Mikey riled up. But so Mikey falls off his game, so he gets cut like he did back in Mirage, early issues of Mirage. Got cut. So guess what?
Cut, bro.
Turtles can't see color, or sharks can't see color, but they can smell blood. So like, yeah. So now that game is now the shoe's on the other fin. You know what I'm saying? So if I say you know what I'm saying one more time, y'all take a drink. Yeah, so
I'm just gonna take one anyway.
Okay, go for it. I'm trying to find a way to work Carter in. So to this.
No.
So Carter is like y'all might remember Carter. He's like on his way out of the city because he's going to college finally. But turns out
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I told the turtles I'm out of here.
Yeah,
he's on his bike.
I'm gonna go. I'm
he's
finally
going to leave again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's finally hitting the road, and the turtles are so thankful. Like they've actually found Jesus again because they believe that there is a God now that he's finally got out of there. And so the turtles are like, what's going on? They're trying to. So this is on the news. April's there. Everyone's filming this, and the turtles now have Street Sharks have the upper hand because Mikey got cut, so they can smell the blood. Mikey's a little hurt.
Oh.
So the turtles are trying to like protect him. Well, Carter drives by on his way to college, and he wants to know if he can help in any way. So he gets on it. Donnie's like, get on the laptop and look up some stuff about sharks. So he does, and so he finds out that you can hit them in the nose, and they don't like that. Sharks don't like that. So Ryan, here's what they do. Donatello is like, okay, so they do all the rope-a-dope stuff, like the in the animated series, all that stuff. Turns out the fight ends up going to like some docks where they've got like the shipping containers and stuff all everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So Donnie gets up on top of one of those and does the move in the first NES game that you could do to beat Rocksteady or Bebop.
Oh, the little
where he's
like hitting down.
Yeah, and he's knocking all of them out with the nose.
He's hitting the noses. He's just going nothing but noses.
Exactly. But they got Mikey tied up above the with his magic lasso tied up above it, so the Street Sharks are trying to get him, and Donnie's like just jabbing him in the nose, and that's how they win. Turtles come out and fight that.
Oh man, that's pretty good. And then
they told Carter to go to college.
Oh yeah. And then the best part is he looks that up and he turns his bike around and he gets there and he like he goes like,
I forgot his bike.
like into like Savage Dragon Big Bird, but the thing is like no one needs him anymore.
Yeah, no one's
like he walks in and must destroy sharks, and like Donnie's literally like bink on the last one, and he like falls over.
Yeah,
everyone's like 9.95, and then he's like, Carter's like must go back to college, and they're like, yeah, no, you're good, man. We don't need.
I think they take off. I don't think they don't even talk to him after that. They're like, they just
and I have the ending. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
So they tie them up, right?
Okay.
And so they tie him up at the docks, and like they hide him in like, so when they all get knocked out, like people aren't there yet, like so no one gets footage of this, which is kind of that classic Turtles thing where it's like they have to kind of do the right thing even though they're not going to get credit for it. Like no one's like, you see all the people like running toward the docks, like and all the news vehicles and stuff, and the chopper's heading, but like it's not caught on film. So they actually hide the street sharks in a container, and until everything passes. You know what I mean? They jump in the water, and the street sharks are all knocked out because that clutch note, that little nose boot. You know what I'm saying? They're like, ooh. So all of a sudden the street sharks are all tied up like in a little circle. You tie everyone to each other, like little thing. They're sitting down. They wake up, right? And they're in this like shipping container, which is way too big. Like on the inside, because it's that universe where it looks like it's like the size of my house. Like they have all this room. Yeah, and they're hanging out. And they wake up, and the end of the episode is a shot-for-shot recreation of the gas can scene from Reservoir Dogs with the guy that's tied up.
I don't know.
You don't know
I've
about that?
I've seen Reservoir Dogs, but I don't remember.
With the song playing and everything. Well, basically, it's like a shot-for-shot remake of that. They basically like cut a dude's ear off and then pour gasoline on him and light him on fire. Oh, okay. And there's this like song playing in the background. But instead of that, it's like pizzas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like they have pizza, nice. And it's like stuck in the middle with you. And like, and they're like putting little pepperonis like on their nose and like taking them off. And they're basically just like screwing around with them in pizza.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But it's all supposed to look like, and then at the end, they like douse them in soda, kind of like the gasoline. And then they throw pizza at him and stuff, and the sharks are like, no, oh my god, I hate pizza, and like the turtles are just like torturing him with it.
And then it comes to so then the news cameras find them, and it looks like the street sharks have been eating a bunch of pizza, and it looks like it discredits them because they've been talking all kinds of garbage about pizza, and now they're actually here having a seat. Ryan, that's amazing. Oh, that's
it's
so
like
good.
knock, like so they hear like people around the container. Yeah. So they basically like they like Leo like cuts the rope with like one thing of the katana. So like all the rope, and he grabs it all up. So they're just sitting there. Yeah. With like pizza and soda everywhere and shit. And then like Leo cuts a hole in the top of the container and they pop out the top just as everyone rushes in. Yeah. And they get away. Like they jump in the water. And then all it is like on the news is just like them like covered in pizza, look like they're having a pizza party. And they ruined their reputation, but they did get their Reservoir Dogs scene off.
Oh, that's so good
with the pizza and the song and stuff. So
see, oh my goodness, I forgot we haven't done this is the first Turtles come out and fight that I think since
it's been a long time. Yeah,
the YouTube channel. Goodness, that was so much fun. Sorry. I hope everyone else enjoyed that because So this is all improv. So if for those of you who are new, this is all improv. We had I had no idea Ryan was going to drop that, and I didn't know that Street Sharks was going to come up. And that's the beautiful thing about it is once we get it going and it just works, then it's like you just come up with it. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that was fun. Hope y'all enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Man,
you know what else is fun?
What, Ryan?
Checking in with chat. People are just saying that's kind of funny. Jake says, oddly enough, I just recently found all my old Street Sharks figures and hand puppets I had. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna try selling that stuff on eBay.
Oh,
that's legit.
I remember them being hand puppets. But I never had them. But I did have. Do you remember Sectars? They were like insect kind of toys.
Sectars,
yeah. It's they had a guy named like Dagon or Dakin or something like that. It was the main guy, and he had like weird eyes. The cool thing about them, all insect theme, they had these like vehicles that were a glove that you put on, but they were like spiders. So your hands, your like thumb and index finger, ring finger, and pinky, they were like the legs, but your middle finger was controlled the mouth of the beast.
Oh, were they made by Coleco?
More than likely, I think so.
Yes, I see it. Yes, Sectaurs, Sectaurs.
Yes, and that was the coolest thing. I had one of them as far as the vehicle, but the fact
the vehicles,
a glove, and you could do that, and it was like a puppet. You could go around. I was like, that's brilliant. Super.
I've seen like pictures of like the spider flyer from like 1984, and it looks like it has fur and shit.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that was the other thing that I remember being a puppet, but I couldn't remember how Street Sharks were puppets, but I guess it's the mouth, you know?
Yeah. I the only big puppet I remember having as a child was the Alf puppet from Pizza Hut.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? I had the Hawaiian shirt one.
Oh yeah.
And I can still, like, seriously, bro, I can still see him on my hand.
Yeah.
Every detail of him.
Yeah.
I can feel like the fabric kind of cloth inside where like they rooted all the hair into it. And I can just see how he was to like manipulate. Like I have the most distinct memories of this puppet. I messed with this puppet for like ever, dude.
Yeah.
Like that puppet was like on top of my guitar amp, like when I was like playing punk shows and stuff. Like I still like had him around. Like he was just like a big part of, and we got him from Pizza Hut. Man, he stood the test of time.
Was it Pizza Hut or Burger King? I always thought it was Burger King, but maybe it is.
Was it
Pizza
Burger
Hut.
King?
It might. I think it was Burger.
Oh,
King.
You got me all messed up. I thought it was
wrong.
Pizza Hut.
I could be wrong, but I think it's Burger King because I had them, but for some reason they lived in my parents' bedroom, which is a whole other story apparently, because they had them on their bedpost, and that's some weird stuff. Don't ever go look in your parents' drawers when they ask you to. Go back and listen to Turtle Soup episodes.
They are.
About that.
You know what? That they were from Burger King. I swear they're from Pizza Hut. But I'm trying to find now the one that
there was the chef. There was the one that looked like Dave Coulier. And
yeah, I'm not seeing like the Hawaiian shirt that he had though. Oh, yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him.
But
it was like a blue. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, those are amazing.
Dude,
if I ever find those
I used
again,
to rock that, dude. Oh, you have no idea.
Was this
on
them so
Etsy?
Much. Yeah.
They're not bad. They're like $20 on Etsy.
That's not bad.
Alf boys.
It's like $5.
You can find yourself. Yeah. You know. Oh my god. This one comes. This surfer one comes with like the little surfboard.
Whatever. Math.
The little paper surfboard that he came with, the Burger King surfboard.
I don't remember the surf one. I don't remember.
$17.50. Well, that's the Hawaiian shirt one.
Oh,
that's the one that I remember. He was the surf version.
Yeah. I definitely remember the chef and the surf, the Hawaiian shirt version. I don't remember the surf.
He had that. He had little paper sunglasses that you could punch out of the box and put on him, and they were supposed to go above his head, which honestly completed that look really well.
Yeah,
but those were long gone. Yeah. He eventually didn't have a shirt anymore. I mean, I think by the time he was on my amp, he was just naked. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, naked.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks Chad for joining in.
If you have an open casket when you die, are you gonna be mad or happy that I put that Alf on your hand when you go down? Like when I slip it in.
That'd be legit.
Okay, I'm gonna me and the captain, we gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Just I'll have my arms crossed over my chest. I'll make sure that's in my will.
Yeah,
have my arms kind of like a Egyptian thing,
right?
So you can easily get Alf on one of them.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because if you do the top half, my arms are below. You gotta open the middle part, and
it's
and that's gonna be hard for people not to notice. But
it's true.
You can slip on if my hands are up like this.
Yeah,
you could just slip Alf on like my left hand if you could.
Oh,
because I'm left-handed, so I always had Alf on my left hand.
So I want one on my right hand. So if you can make that happen, so yeah, and I think that'll be great. Cool.
Darth Machio says he's saying he's outliving you, bro. Well, yeah, no, Eric eventually kills me.
I do.
That's prophesized.
Yeah.
When Eric and I met, we had the same dream that night, the first night after we met. when I was in his bed that night.
Yep.
We had the same dream. And in that dream is very prophetic. Like we get into some kind of like wild like battle on like a hilltop. It's I don't want to say it's Highlander, but it felt a lot like it.
It did.
And after a long and struggle, long hard fought battle, I fall.
Yeah.
Now a lot of that could just be like obviously like the vision being kind of covered over in certain ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be just very symbolistic. We don't think that might not exactly happen, but he is the end of me.
It is true.
Yeah. So just to pull that curtain back, that's the order that goes in.
That is.
We don't know how it'll happen, but that's what prophecy says.
That's what prophecy says. Well, do you want to know what our notes say?
It's time to do a turtle comic.
It's time to do a turtle review, and then we're through with you.
Oh, jeez. So are you ready to get this going, everybody?
I think I am.
All right. So here we go. Image Comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 15 from May of 1998. Jeez, that's late. That is late 90s. That is late 90s. Back in May, this issue came out. You know what I'm saying? $2.95 in the US, $4.45 in Canada, because their money is just worth less than ours, but their quality of life is much better.
Much better. Yes.
How?
I don't know.
Maybe they have more money.
Could be.
But anyway, so we have this issue number 15. Eric, what do you think about this cover? What are your thoughts on this cover redo?
I hate it. I don't like it. It's
not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Let's break it down. So let's talk about things I do like. So we'll start there and we'll work our way down. Love the masthead as per usual. You got the Image logo,
sure,
and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all in white, very stark. Looks excellent. That's fantastic. So then they're in the sewers. Those look great. Like the sewers look really cool, dark, dingy bricks.
It's kind of like a sepia tone to give contrast to the front. To the thing in the foreground. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the thing in the foreground, that would be your boy Robodon.
Robodon.
And so he is up in the forefront of the comic. And but then he looks awesome. He looks a little different than we're used to seeing him, which is the promise of the premise. We'll get to that in a second. But he's got more spikes, a shoulder pad. Like he just looks very teched out, and he's got a grimace on his face that's just kind of menacing.
Yes.
But now this does look like the mixed media a little bit. It's not as much as it has been in the past, but it's enough to where you're like, oh, that's different. And that's the extent of the things I like about this cover. Now, moving on to the rest of the cover, in between the sewers and Donatello, you have Raphael, Leonardo, and Michelangelo all looking horrified, and they look horrific. Yes. And they are just like blown away by Donatello, which we'll find out why later in the issue. However, but that one of those turtles shouldn't be there for this. And I don't like the way the turtles are drawn. Their faces are weird. However, it is consistent with the artwork inside the book. So I'll give it that. Yeah. That is something. But the artwork on this, they just look very grotesque and just not... They look a little rushed too. But the thing is the bodies... Their bodies look fine, like they maybe a little rushed, but just it's a little rough. But other than that, Donnie looks great, and the rest of it looks great. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. What do you think? Do you agree or?
No, I think it's okay. I don't know if I go so far as say I don't like it. I think it's a dynamic cover. I think there's something going on with the proportions of Donnie's like that right arm that I don't totally like, and I think that's might be the biggest critique I have for the cover. His arm is not proportionally right. I can't tell you why. I can't but it just feels like for the angle you're at, the proportion doesn't look quite right to me. It looks kind of too long, like way too long.
Right.
And I understand it is Robodon, so I guess his arm could be longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, just because he's like, make my arm grow.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it doesn't really stand out to me. It is very dynamic, though. I'll give it that. The contrast on Robodon, very sharp in the foreground with the turtles framed by that arm and very sepia tone in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the worst cover I've ever seen. I definitely see where they were going with it, but I agree. It's not one of my favorites. It's about a C level for me.
The turtles'
as far
faces,
as, covers I've seen.
The turtles' faces look like rushed Larson. Or Larson, excuse me.
They're in their defense, they are I do believe intentionally hyper distorted.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be in this crazy look. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be somewhat deformed.
Yeah.
By the nature of what's going on. But I agree, the faces do look rushed as well. Almost like they kind of knew they weren't going to be on the cover, so they didn't put their makeup on. Like, I ain't getting up putting my face on if I'm not on the cover. You know what I mean? It's how it feels.
Yeah, I'm not putting my hair in a ponytail for nothing. So,
that cover that you really don't like is by Frank Fosco and Eric Larson. Our writer on this issue is Gary Carlson. Pencils, Frank Fosco. Inks, Mark Heike. Letters, Pat Brosseau. Editor, Eric Larson. And I don't know if Josh Eichhorn is credited on this issue or not, because we don't have that page from our cool uncle. But I'm just going off of the Turtlepedia page.
There you go.
But that is our creators. Once again, nothing big and different. This is the same guys that have brought you this book for a while now.
Yeah.
So getting into it, we have a little bit of a time jump. So we have Mikey back in the lair, and starts off with this kind of narration, which I do like seeing Mikey writing. That's
love it. Love
that
this.
That goes way back. And it's really cool. And they've been developing him like this for some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So very much like in the issue 11 of Mirage, if I'm correct, the farmhouse issue. Instead of it being April's reflections, these are Mikey's reflections. So he says,
awesome.
he says, home at last. We were only gone for a few weeks, but it felt like years. Leo's out trying to locate Raphael and or Splinter. Last time we were home, there was a gang war going on between one of the mobs and the Foot Clan, and we were smack in the middle of it. April and Casey aren't home, but there's no sign of foul play. There's also been no change in Donnie's condition for better or for worse. All I can do is wait. And waiting sucks. So we have an appearance by Clunk. Clunk shows up in the sewer.
Clunk shows up.
Old time, long time over here.
Yeah.
Mikey's adopted cat from the Michelangelo Micro series, if you'll believe it.
Yeah.
All the way back from 1985. So he makes an appearance. It's super cool.
Love that.
And Mikey's just apologizing for being gone so long. Like, hey man, I didn't want to be gone. Sorry, buddy. I hate that I had to leave. So he walks over to the living room, and this page is awesome. Once again, not necessarily for its super accurate dimensions or perspective, but more for just guess what's in. We start with this cozy scene, and now we're here.
Right, that's a page turner right there.
Yeah, it's a big page reveal. You see Donnie effectively in a Bacta tank. That's kind of what it is. Hooked up to everything, just in the Turtles' living room. And
my first thought is, if Donnie's in that, who made that? And then I remember, they just got done hanging out with Vanguard and Wally and all
Vanguard
those
and
Wally, and
they
probably used some of their tech to make this work.
Absolutely, that's absolutely Wally's tech.
Yeah,
Wally's you can take him home, I guess. We've been up here for a week. I'll beam this thing down for you. Yeah, if you want to hang out with your dead as doornail brother, that's fine. We'll just put him down here for you.
Right.
So he's just asking, are you really dead this time, Donnie? Because Donnie's just hanging out. And don't forget, Donnie got riggedy wrecked last issue by Johnny Lee Rayburn. So he's not doing so great. And this is when Leo pops in and basically says what's going on? Oh, by the way, this is some interesting news. Shredder's back. And Mikey's like, "What? No, there's no way, no Shredder ain't no dang old Shredder." And he goes, "No, seriously though, that's true. I've got 2 eyewitnesses to the account that he was last seen fighting a giant bat." And and Mikey's like, "Oh, that's our dad." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I just heard these things. I got to go actually like do this." But before I go to try to find him, I am going to go on that old clutch astral plane. You know what I mean? Because Leo says, kind of weird, like kind of weirdly here, that he's convinced that Donatello's on the astral plane. Now, like he's just like, I bet you he's there. Like and it makes sense.
It does, because he's seen Donnie on there. Like that's how he knew where to find him.
Yes. And even though Donnie's not back in his body yet, and whatever, he's like, well, I think he's there. So he lights some candles for the traditional meditation to go on the astral plane. That's when Mikey's like, I'll stand watch. Right. And he hears a noise. He gets all geared up, and it's Shadow. Oh, Shadow shows up. So Shadow comes in, and she's all like, "Uncle Mikey," and everyone's just being really loud, and like Leo's trying to do his astral plane bit, and like Mikey spends most of his time being like, "Shh, be quiet now." Leo's trying to like be a dang old ghost and get on the astral plane, and they're all like. They're like, "What'd you say, Mikey?" He's like, "Oh my god!" That's when Casey and April burst in, and Casey's got a damn baseball bat in his hands, ready to get it on, and Mikey's like, "Jesus!" Like, like I mean, this is gonna be the second time you beat the shit out of me in a week. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Like, calm down. And things are here. This is a really cool scene to me because it shows things are really patched up.
Oh yeah,
because things weren't so great between Mikey, who was watching Shadow, and Casey when Shadow got abducted under Mikey's watch, and Casey got drunk and said a hell of a lot of bad shit, a lot of really bad stuff, and mainly targeted it at April, actually. Which that seems to have been patched up, but the stuff Casey said, you have to go back and listen to that episode. Was some of the most brutal stuff I've ever heard. Like it made April look like just trash, and I don't know how she got over it. Frankly.
I don't either.
Because there were things there that were said that were like, you don't come back from that.
No.
Level is bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, things seem to be okay now. So they all give Mikey a big hug and say, "Hey, it's glad to see you back. And why didn't you reach out? You weren't here," and all this stuff like that. And he's like, "Well, some stuff came up. Let me show you what happened." And they walk into the living room, and of course, Shadow wants to swim in it. She wants to go swimming with Uncle Donnie. Yeah, and it's very awkward as Mikey has to explain that that's actually dang old medicine, and that you can't do that. And that Donnie's very sick, and he kind of does a so basically for him because they don't really know about any of this crap. No. Like they were just like doing their thing, and now all of a sudden there's all this.
Yeah.
So they do explain everything, and that's when all of a sudden Leo from his little meditation starts shaking and saying, "Mikey, help me." He's like completely like messed up on the astral plane, like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because of the Foot Clan's temporary headquarters somewhere in the city. And you've got Raphael down because remember last time, man, your boy bad Bat Dad.
Yes. He chucked him.
His turkey was cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like he bit him, he messed him up and stuff. And we find out that in this time, in this last week that we kind of missed, Raph's down, dude. Raph's like on the couch. You know what I mean? Like sick, unconscious. Fever's been raging, and the Foot Clan have brought in some kind of like master of ancient medicine. Is they never name him, you know who he is, but like he obviously starts coming in and like calling the shots based on like trying to make Raphael better. And the Foot Clan are very incentivized for him to do so. Yeah. Like you might think that maybe some of the crazy would have worn off, the whole part where Raphael donned your master's old ceremonial armor and killed all these gangsters.
Right.
And then killed a bunch of foot ninja, or one at least, right in front of your eyes, and was like, you should all kill yourselves. That whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then he says, or you can join me. And they go, yeah, we'll join you. And they run funny because comics. Yeah. Like all that whole thing. You might have thought, I kind of thought when I saw this scene, I was kind of like, how long is this Foot Clan going to be loyal to your boy Raph? Because he just joined up. They could start getting some ideas, but not the case. Like,
no, well,
they're dedicated to bringing him back.
They are, and it's very strange. But I'm curious though. I think this guy might actually be a part of Karai's sect of the Foot Clan, because remember Karai was the leader of the Foot Clan, but then like the New York chapter was being ran by the other people that made the deal with the gangsters. And so
the council, like I imagine that'd be like her generals, more or less. Like she left them in charge as like a council,
right? And so Karai and the Turtles had a good working relationship. There was a truce there as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that this might be an elder from that part of the Foot Clan, because that's the only way. Because where else would he come from? Because they're not just going to look on like in the phone book and find, ancient ninja medicine man, and call him up and let him in.
No, in a week they could have gotten him from Japan. Absolutely. They could have flown him in. Totally. And I expect that potentially is what they did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I have no doubt. I thought for a minute you were saying that like the current like Foot Clan ninjas that are like helping him are the old guard, and I don't totally think so.
No, not at all. No, these are still the same 4 that are the ones that were with him last issue.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the old man that's the medicine man.
Yeah, because the mob beheaded the Foot Clan command structure in that raid.
Right.
These are just regular foot soldiers, literally.
Right. I guess what I was trying to say was that because there was a divide between the New York branch and the Japanese branch, which is where Karai is currently. And so I that's why I was like, well, where else would they get this guy from? So that was the only thing that made sense to me. They don't
No, they don't. And he's definitely older. He's definitely like kind of a wise man. So they probably did bring him in. Mm-hmm. To kind of figure out what's going on. And they say, his fever has raged for a week and his body weakens from lack of food. And that's, and then basically he's explaining everything to this wise man. And he's saying like he was poisoned when this winged demon bit him. And of course there's Splinter being all like, scree, turtles are the demons. And like saying all this insane shit. Yeah. Shredder is my enemy. And like all this, I imagine that's how he sounds. He's like,
I hope he sounds like that.
Turtles are more demons. And like,
it sounds like Baxter the Fly.
Yeah, they're kind of like, oh god, it's like, could you like shut this guy up or something?
Right.
And then the Foot Clan Ninja kind of redoubles and says, so we cannot let him die. He is the new Shredder. He saved the clan from extinction, and we swore to serve him. There is much he can teach us. Yeah. And that's when kind of taking all this in, the kind of the wise the ancient wise healer starts to move into action. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, all right. First of all, sleepy powder in your actual face, Bat. That's the first thing he does. He's like, shh, you must sleep, vile one. Get the hell out of here. Like, cause I can totally see him too, where he's like, well, first of all, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm jet lagged from Japan. Mm-hmm. And you're coming out here, yes, Shredder, and also the turtle demons. Like, shut up. Just shut up. So I love like, puh. That knocks that boy out. You know what I mean?
Does.
Like, doesn't matter if you're a bad bat dad, you know what I mean, or a rad rat dad. Doesn't matter. Like that stuff puts you down.
Yeah,
and it does. So he starts to explain. This one carries rabies in his blood and also something else. Call your brothers. We must purge the poisons from your master's blood if he is to live. Then he goes on to explain effectively that they must all gather together. He needs to borrow some of their life force to add to Raphael's life force because he has to fight off this, old dirty insulin and all this other crap that's in his system from Bad Dad.
Right.
And he says, don't worry. Like I won't like take enough from your inner fires to harm you, but like we got to come together for your boy Raph or he's going to lose it.
Yeah.
And he's like, the first thing I got to do is I got to put this guy to actual sleep. Because he's not actually asleep and he can't wake up in the middle of this crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how about a little for you too? You know what I'm saying? That happens off camera. You know what I'm saying? But that's basic. That's what either that or just like he just punched him in the head. Like one of the two. He knocks him out. So I love this page because you see in the top panel it's very organized, and like very like squared off.
Right.
But then the minute he says I gotta put him to sleep deeply, very deeply, so he is unable to awaken until we are finished. All of a sudden you see what we now know to be like obviously the astral plane kind of limited detail, just line work, artwork.
Right.
Raphael just falling. from like a high distance.
Oh
like, just like falling like crazy.
And the frame is like out of like it's all askew.
Yes. Can you zoom out and just see that whole page really fast?
Yeah,
Just show everybody the whole page. Because I love this, and this is just great layouts, and it's not complicated, but it totally gets it. Yes, where all the panels have like kind of the squiggly edges to them, the rough edges, and the artwork just changes on the same page, right? And this is great layouts.
It's great
right here, and literally because the panels are below the top thing, it also gives the sense that he's falling, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's falling down the page. It's very smart, very good layouts. So he lands and doesn't know where he is. But then he quickly sees that you've got Bad Bat Dad on the astral plane strangling Donatello.
Yeah.
Saying all shredders must die, which means he definitely did like in his, now that he's asleep, he's on the astral plane, he knows of Casey, or he knows of Raph as Shredder because he sees him and says Shredder. Like he says scree another turtle demon, all shredders must die.
So that means that Splinter, when Splinter sleeps, he goes to the astral plane. Because the guy the guy just like, you know, blew the dust in his face and sent him to sleep. So that's why.
Now, granted, true. I think that it's funny because I agree. I think this does show that that anytime Splinter is unconscious, even in his Bad Bat Dad form, like he does just go to the astral plane. Like he's like lived like 2 lifetimes basically. Since he learned that trick, which is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
But Raph was also put to sleep with that stuff. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, they're all there. It's a good time. So of course, like on the astral plane, you know, Raph still has his weapons, much like like Dream Warrior kind of stuff. Like, in my dreams, I'm the Prince of Elves. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what that is. God, Dream Warriors is so good. This is a good movie. You ever see that?
No.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's Nightmare on Elm Street. I probably have, but
I think it's 4 Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. It's got some of the best Freddy Krueger one-liners in it.
Oh,
it's got like,
great.
hey, you want to suck face? It's got that one.
See, I need to watch these again as an adult because I watched these when I was a kid, and they were scary as they're supposed to be.
Sure,
but as an adult, it's like.
But as a kid too, because like we weren't kind of supposed to be watching like super scary bloody movies like that. Whenever we did get to see them, it felt illicit. It felt like it was scary because it was illicit.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when I watched Dream Warriors, I didn't really get to like fully like appreciate how like silly it was because I was kind of like I shouldn't even be watching this, man. Oh man, I shouldn't even be watching this. Like that's how I felt like the whole time. So it made it feel more freaky.
Yeah,
does that make any sense?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. See, and then growing up in the church, you hear about demons and shit, and so like you don't want to mess with that stuff, or you know, is what you're always told. And then you see that, and like, of course, you didn't have all the bonus features on the VHS back then, so you couldn't just go see Robert Englund talking about like, oh, here's me putting on the makeup and all that stuff. Yeah, so to get you back to reality, you know, Mom Spaghetti, but. Yeah. So
yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. So let's see here. So so he pulls out his little Dream Warrior size and he's like, yeah, man, how about I fight you though? And that makes Splinter give up. He's like, you know, too many turtles to kill, and he like flies away looking like the Batman logo, and the turtles are left, and they have like a really like kind of a sweet reunion where like, you know, like Donnie like clutches him and he's like, oh my God, I've been stuck here so long, like am I dead? Like, who knows? And they have this really interesting conversation about like how Raph's pretty sure they're not dead.
Right.
And then Donnie's like, but like, so you know you're not dead?
Yeah.
And then Raph's like, ooh, that's right. The last thing I remember is fighting Splinter, and he still knew his ninjutsu, he says, because he whipped my ass, and then he bit me with the old dirty insulin. And Donnie's like, you could just be dead too. So
yeah,
and everyone's like, well, good point. So they're trying to figure that out when all of a sudden here comes a Leonardo.
He's just like, shows up.
He's like, hey, he's like, it's me, and then they're like, Leo, like, what the hell? Yeah, they're like, oh my God, it's me, Leonardo, and they're like, what? Like, oh shit, and And he kind of butts into the conversation saying, like, I don't know about Raph, but Don is alive. I saw his body just a few minutes ago. And like, and Donnie's like, I really like this sequence because like everyone's like really frustrated. Like I like that they come into this really frustrated and they only have these like 3 pages to really like figure shit out. Because it's a very brief time, but you see all the frustration in it. Like, cause Leo's like, no, dude, you're alive. Like I saw your body, like your body's there. And then Donnie's desperately like, oh my God, can you take me there? Where is it? Can you draw me to it? Like he's like won't let anyone else talk. Cause he's like freaking out. Cause he's just so desperate to get back to his body.
Oh,
and meanwhile, Raph is like, man, I don't even know about me, dog. But like, Leo, like, how are you here? And like we need to get Donnie back to his body. And like, everyone's just very like out of sorts. And I really like it. I think that's exactly, this scene plays out exactly how it would play out. Right? Yeah, like if they were there. Like a lot of information, everyone wants something. Everyone wants something. Like Leo wants to get Donnie back. Donnie wants his body back. Raph just wants to know what's going on, doesn't know where his body. He can't remember where his body is.
No.
And all this stuff. So it's pretty great because Leo also takes on a really cool leadership role here that I wanted to point out. Because amidst all this, like everyone's like, oh shit, oh my God, where's my body? And all this crazy stuff. Leo says, relax. It's in Mike's apartment. Just concentrate. It'll pull you like a magnet. Yeah. And Donnie's like, it's working. Oh my God, it's working. Are you guys coming? And he's like, I'll be there. I'll be right there. I just need to talk to Raph for a second. And like, it just feels like he like, oftentimes, even in Mirage and Image, Leo is the leader, but the leadership is always very fractious. You've always got Raphael, who's there as the foil to that leadership. Who's always questioning that, right? And that's a good thing. We've talked about a bunch of stuff, like even in like how like The Walking Dead, like it was always good to have characters that question someone's leadership in crisis, right?
Right.
But here I just like that Leo has a true moment of like, I got this. Like, go back to your body. Now I need to talk to Raph. He's like putting things in order, which I really appreciate. So it turns out that, he starts talking to Raph. He's like, dude, what's going on with you? Like, where are you? And of course, Raph doesn't remember. He's like, I don't know. Like, everything's really confused. Like, there was this massacre at the foot hideout. And then there's the Shredder thing and fight with Splinter and all this stuff. And then I love it because Leo's like, jackpot, Shredder.
Right.
What's up with Shredder? Like, what's up with Shredder? And all of a sudden, Leo starts floating away.
Right.
And he's like, Raph, stop me. I'm floating away. So he kind of loses that control. And I just like the way that this whole scene plays out, where he's on top of it and then things kind of go awry. Because you got to remember, like, the turtles, like, Leo sounds like the most disciplined of them all about going on the astral plane.
Yeah.
But, like, he's still like the expert that old Bad Dad is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so like, former Rad Rat Dad, current Bad Bat Dad. He's not the expert. So he starts floating backwards like Donnie did. Yeah. And Raph can't like stop him, basically. And that's where I'll hand the book over to you, sir.
Oh.
Back to reality.
Let me get it from you. Oh, goodness. All right.
Oh yeah, Here you go through the internet.
Thanks. Oh, we got it right
here.
Not
a problem, man. That cost me $80.
Yeah, this did?
No, putting it through the internet.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, to all the
dude, it ain't cheap.
It's not. The internet's not cheap. Try asking your parents for the internet. See what they say.
Yeah, you tried asking your parents for 1 straight hour on the internet. 60 minutes of internet time. Try asking them about that.
Yeah, see where that gets you. Yeah,
you ain't got no job. You ain't working. You ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want an hour of internet time. Wow.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, big man.
Exactly. Well, speaking about big men, these men are standing above Raphael, looking big, doing some weird salute. Oh, that's them sending all their energy. Much in a way of power. This is something that would happen on Power Rangers, that they would send their life energy to Zordon or some shit. And so you got the medicine man. He's saying, excellent. We have purged the poisons from his blood and healed his wounds. Now concentrate. So basically this dude has just healed him of rabies, essentially. And yeah, they're doing all this metaphysical stuff, trying to get, Raph to come back, bring him back to his senses and all this. But the body is resisting. Something's resisting. The spirit, it's something's not working right. It's like two magnets. It's like the polar opposites of the magnet,
Yeah.
And so he realizes, oh, wait, something's not right. And this guy that has Raph's face is asking where Raph is. and that ain't right. So turns out we see that Raph just, well, the person in Raph jumps up in Raph's body and says, "My eye, I can't see, can't focus. Where am I?" And he keeps asking for Raph and screaming and just everywhere. Wow. Well, he sees his reflection in Shredder's helmet. So great this
shot.
is where you realize that this is Leonardo in Raph's body, and that's got to be wild. Because here's the thing, that's what Leo was wanting to find out, was what happened to Shredder, or what's this Shredder talk. You come back to reality, and there's not a rabbit, but there's a Shredder, and you see your face, and it's you. Like, that's so weird. Like, to see somebody else's face, but in the idea of the Freaky Friday thing is just like, beyond me. It's like, that's just got to be so strange. And then not only that, but to see the helmet of like your arch nemesis that you put that thin white line through, and hits back again. And that's just, I don't know. Leo's just got to be going through all kinds of stuff. So, and he's blown out by this as well, as he should be.
Yeah.
And he stands up and he's like, realizing he's trapped in Raph's body by the Foot Clan. Like, and this is a good panel. It's just neat. You're seeing all the Foot surrounded by him, and or him surrounded by them. And I love this, because then you got Bad Bat Dad just in the cage.
Oh, he woke up
just screaming, "Kill him! Kill him! Kill the turtle demon!" And I love that so much, because it's like, so weird. It's just so weird. And the fact that the Foot Clan, I guess they're so desensitized by, well, again, this is Image. So they're used to probably watching on the news, like all the other Savage Dragon stuff that's happened. Cause I'm sure that the news, like their version of CNN, probably talks about this. So they're a little bit more desensitized to, all the supernatural stuff than they would have been in just Mirage, where, you see the turtles and maybe like Leatherhead and the Triceratons and stuff and the Utroms. So there's a little bit there, but how often the Foot Clan saw that is anyone's guess. But I just love how like complacent they are about, we just have a bat that's telling us to kill everybody, like wrapped up, that can speak English, that's in this cage, as our turtle master is on the bed here. And that's just interesting.
Yeah.
So Leo in Raph's body realizes that Splinter's there and he's gone crazy. And the medicine man's realizing this is just, it's all been one big mistake. They got to knock him out again. So he pulls out Ryan's favorite move with the old dust blow, and sends him back and basically insinuates that to Leo, kind of like telling him that this is going to be a dream. This is all a dream. Kind of like making him think that just by saying it, in a sense, that this is all like just a bad dream, and then blows the dust in his face. And then, so he gets knocked out like a dang old piece of toast, and they realize, okay, we got to do it again. So now, do you think he had to draw more life energy from the Foot Clan than he did before? Because now, whatever it was, it's now been doubled, because they got to do it again. This is like the double down.
No, it might be a double down. I kind of, I just love this whole premise where it's like, you might say like, oh my God, like he messed up. Like his whole job was like to get Raph's like spirit back in his body and stuff. But like he went fishing in the astral plane for an anthropomorphic turtle soul.
Right.
And he saw one and grabbed, thinking, well, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? They always talk about like a diamond in the rough. So when you're searching the rough and you find the diamond, you go, yep. Right. But then someone goes, wrong diamond. And you're like, in the rough, huh?
Yeah.
Like, okay, right. You know what I mean? Like that's how it feels. It feels like he's like, guys, I played the odds. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I got you a turtle soul in here, right? And I don't know. Like, I feel almost bad for him, because like he would have done a really great job if all three turtles, if 3 of the 4 turtles weren't on the astral plane and hanging out at the same time.
At the same time, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like, could you imagine the Google review that Foot Clan's going to leave for this dude? Like, it's not going to be. It's not going to be well.
It's going to be ruinous. It's going to be ruinous. It's
3
going to ruin his whole business.
Best. 3 stars at best.
No, he brought the wrong guy back. The guy freaked the hell out. He had to put him back to sleep with the old fairy dust. That's a 1 star if I've ever heard of one right there. I mean, would not recommend.
I'm being generous.
You know what I mean?
At least
you're being really generous.
But at least he could do it. Because you and I can't bring people, as far as I know, we can't bring people from the astral plane. This guy can. So there's that. You got to give him some
That'd
credit.
be like if you paid a guy to replace your toilet and he put a toilet in your kitchen and the one in your bathroom was still broken.
But does the one in the kitchen still work?
You gave him 3 out of 5 stars. Well, I mean, he could do it.
Right.
He could bring it back. He could make a working toilet. He's paid it in the wrong room.
I mean,
I don't know.
Okay, so maybe 2 stars at best. At best, if you're feeling generous,
you're
2
very
stars.
generous. Very generous.
I'm just really impressed by this guy's abilities here. I'm easily impressed. But
I mean, far be it from him to perhaps paint his front door the same color as yours.
Oh, no, don't do that.
That'll definitely get you a 0 star.
That'll get you 0 stars,
put you straight to hell,
and a letter to your boss.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, but he could bring the wrong guy back into your body, and that's 3 stars easy.
3 stars easy, exactly. Well, so it has to have been something. So it happens right when Leo realizes the Shredder stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want to my brain instantly goes to like thinking about that and thinking about Leo's relationship with Shredder and how like different it was from the rest of the Turtles, even though they all had a very strong relationship with the Shredder, like, you know, because they all grew up with him as the boogeyman and stuff like that. But Leo was the one that finished him, and there was just something there. So I'm curious if there's going to be some metatextual, not metatextual, but like if there's going to be some relation where Leo's like always kind of envied the Shredder in a sense, maybe like kind of how Raph did, but in a different way. And I wonder if they're ever going to touch on that. Like maybe that could be something here, because like Donnie was drawn back to his body. I don't know. It's probably never going to go into it, but I liked thinking about that because it could be just like you said, this dude fishing and just got the wrong turtle in the rough. But nevertheless, he sends our boy Leo back to the astral plane, and so there's that. Now we cut back to I think meanwhile, at the same time, they're back in the lair. Leo's body pops up, and it's like, oh, Mikey, geez, it's really you. I'm here, Leo. How did it go? Did you find Donnie? And he's like, he's not realizing that he's thinking Mikey's blind. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not Leo. Like, are you blind? Like, what are you, are you like a street shark or something? Like, can you not see that, well, I guess they don't have their bandanas on, so I guess they couldn't tell the color difference. But anyway, so this is obviously, while Leo was in his body, this is obviously Raph in Leo's body. And so Mikey's having the whole conversation with him. And meanwhile, the whole time it's really interesting. The art is showing the water's reflection on everyone in the room that's in the same room with the tank.
They do that, and they do that consistently.
They do. And it's very interesting. So Raph didn't know that this was happening to Donnie, that Donnie's in this thing, because remember, Raph has been with the Foot Clan. And so he's like, oh, snap, that's Donnie. Oh, goodness. And he's like realizing, oh, goodness, all this stuff. And it's just happening so fast. So he passes out. And that's where Casey and April show back up with Shadow, and everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. And Mikey just basically says, I don't know, the astral plane is bad news. And at this point, I got to agree with him. The only things I've ever seen on the astral plane were like from the X-Men animated series with the Shadow King, and that was bad news. And then now this stuff. And then, Jonathan Richmond talks about the astral plane a little bit, which, that seems like he knows a very pleasant place.
Yes.
But yeah, as far as the Turtles go and the X-Men go, it's not a fun place to visit, at least from what I can tell. If you've been to the astral plane, let us know. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. We want to hear all about it. But as far as we know, it's not good, and we concur with Mikey. So they're trying to get Leo into a bed because something's not right. He's obviously something's messed up. So they get him in there, and the next day we have April talking with Michelangelo, and he's talking about how he's been writing and to take his mind off of all this stuff, and they continue to this storyline, which is really neat because they mentioned this a few issues back, where he and you talked about it earlier in the show, where he is a writer now, like he's selling poetry and writings and stories and whatnot. And so April continues to tell him that, I forgot to tell you, but you sold 2 more poems and a short story, and you got a check for over $100. And
$100.
Yeah. And that's got to be awesome. Cause like, remember this, he's still a teenager. So like, I mean, back in the day, $100 to a teenager, goodness, that's like $1 million. And so, yeah, so it's so they're talking about they keep talking about all this, and Michelangelo continues to tell her, because like they're all excited about it. He's like, well, actually, and like you do whenever you talk to anyone about your art and your craft, you start talking about this thing you're working on now. So he's saying that my latest novel, I just started it up on the spaceship. It's a romance. Try not to mention it to Casey or the guys. It's a romance novel. And yeah, she wants to know if it has anything to do with a certain girl named Sarah Hill, Horridus, if you will. And
yes.
I can't remember if it was here or if it was at the beginning. I don't think we mentioned it, but Michelangelo has a framed photo of Sarah, and maybe it's but yeah. So he also he might get that here. I don't know. I could be mistaken, but
no. He gets it here because that's part of the package.
Okay, that's the package. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so April's talking about like, well, Michelangelo's like, how'd you know? And she goes, well, there's this thing that came for you, and it says it's from Sarah and has a strong aroma of grape jelly, which if you want to send anything physically to Turtle Soup, you sent it in grape jelly. That's the way to do it. Everyone who sent us stuff before has done that, and it's been a welcome addition to our collection of things. So thank you very much to everyone who's done that. Yeah. So this is really neat. I love this. I love this stuff with April and Mikey just facilitating his talent, and seeing the turtles have, like, they're not just warriors that are just like the next fight or whatever, and then it's like they have ambitions and other things that they're doing. I love that so much, and I'm really glad to see this exemplified here again, as it was in Mirage back in the day. So there we go. That's the image that I was looking at or thinking of from the beginning. And because again, it's Michelangelo at a typewriter. I mean, earlier he was handwriting, but like here he's typing on a typewriter, which has got I didn't think about this until right now. Your boy's only got 2 fingers and a thumb on each hand. That typewriter's got to be some Donnie typewriter stuff, where Donnie's made it to where it
where
it's
like
appropriate.
The keys are bigger.
Because that's got to be weird. But he's got this big picture, like a headshot of Horridus, and I love that so much, because like she's probably one of my favorite things to come out of the Image stuff with the Savage Dragon crossovers. So the next day and the next, and they just showing you that like he's still writing and not a lot's changed. Everything's kind of just the same. And then all of a sudden, you see Leonardo's body get up, and he goes, "It lives!" And he's giving him the dozens, talking about welcome back and are you feeling better and whatnot. What do you remember and stuff? And he's like, now you realize that this isn't Leonardo. This is Donatello. It's like, what? So, yeah.
I love the line where he's like, Leo, you feeling better? And he just gets up. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
And he just looks at that tank like,
right.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
That's my body.
And so it's just been constant body swaps for these people. That it's like, just like, is it Leo? Is it Don? Is it Raph? Who's in whose body? Whatnot. So just total Freaky Friday stuff. And so he picks up the tank that you were talking about. Well, not the tank. The what's the
radiator?
Radiator. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And he takes it and he throws it at the tank that he's in, that his Donatello's physical body is in. Yeah. And all of a sudden we have a crash and a sploosh, and we've all been there, and it's just like water everywhere from the window to the wall, and it's just pandemonium going all over the place. Rooms filling up with water, and lungs just they're everything's slimy and gross because it's medicine water and just all this stuff. So and apparently this wasn't this is also Mikey's apartment. Like, and that's the thing. I don't fully understand where Mikey's apartment is and where the turtles' lair is. Does Mikey's apartment have like an entrance from the sewer so that they can get there? Because that could be where I'm getting crossed up as far as like
Mikey's apartment, if I'm not mistaken, Mikey's apartment is where the sewer connects to April's apartment building that she owns.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
It's in the basement. They call it the basement, which I take it is like right off of like the sewers.
Yeah.
And he kind of sublets that basement room and keeps out of the way in exchange for like watching Shadow and they talk about it briefly that's what he does. Like he lives there. He does not live with the other turtles.
Yeah,
like he lives there, so he can be closer to Shadow.
I guess my whole thing is that I didn't realize like the proximity of the turtles being in the where their new lair is to this, but this is totally separate. Like this is like
this is separate. Yeah, because that's why he notices that Casey and April aren't home because he lives like right next door, and that's why when they show up, when they come home. Yeah, he's the first place they walk into because he's right there, basically. Yeah,
and that's probably why they don't mind Shadow going down there because it's not technically the sewer. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And in the beginning of this image run where they kind of catch you up, Mikey lives here to be closer to her. Yeah, that's like his main thing. Like after the ending of Mirage Volume 2 and the Dream or whatever, the way they ended that. It's basically seen that like they've split apart somewhat, and he lives here.
Yeah. So it's his apartment's wrecked, and Leo's just like face down, just dead as his doornail, like looking right there. And so they pick him up and they're like, "What'd you do that for?" Like he's like, "What? I didn't do it." And he goes, "It was Donatello. He was in my body. I was stuck on the astral plane while Don was sleeping. I tried to get into his body, but no luck." And then they're looking for him, and they find Clunk. Clunk's all wet, but he's still alive, thankfully.
Yeah, he's kicking around.
Yeah, and they're trying to find out where Donnie is because like it's kind of hard to find, misplace a giant anthropomorphic robot
full of junk.
Yeah. So apparently Leonardo finds him, and he's alive. His heart is beating, but he isn't breathing. So they decide to give him mouth to mouth. And they're just while this is happening, it looks like he's still in the actual like aquarium tank thing. Just at the bottom of it. See at the bottom page. It looks like he's still in that. The windows the glass is broken.
Yes, floor because he's still hooked up to like all the wires. They held him in.
That's
all the
what
cables
it is.
And stuff.
Yeah, so
he's on the floor of that. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and so Mike's asking if he can do anything, and Leo says pray. Right. And Mikey starts talking about, thoughts and prayers, and it gets into a whole weird thing. But it's cool. They move past it pretty quickly.
Any kind of real change, yeah.
Yeah. So, so Leo is just like, oh, what do we do? He's crippled now that the armor exoskeleton deserted him, and the editor tells you to see last issue. And so they're talking, and Leo's like, I know. Maybe Dragon knows a doctor. Who's he talking about with Dragon? Is he talking about like
Savage Dragon?
The Savage Dragon? Yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I'd forgotten about the Savage Dragon. I was thining like, oh, is he talking about
that was a panhandle moment, buddy.
That might have been a panhandle.
That was a panhandle.
Moment. That is because I'm like Dragon. But it could also be that I'm trying to forget all the Savage Dragon stuff because
you don't want to live forever in that Savage Dragon.
I don't.
Is what you're talking about.
I don't. So
you're like
soon
Dragon.
As I get out, I'm done.
Chushi the Warrior Dragon.
That's the one I was thinking
Dragon.
Of. I was thinking of because it was like the Komodo, Lord Komodo, the Dragon Lord. I was like, okay, it can't be him. Because he did that to Bad Bat Dad, made Rad Dad Bad Bat Dad. You don't want that.
They're not on good terms. Yeah.
But Chu-Shi is who I was thinking of, but then I had to remind myself that was Archie.
Adventures.
And so anyway, so there now the whole thing for our audio listeners, this page is a panel layout, classic Mirage, just classic Mirage. You got Leo and Mikey and Leo on both sides of the panel going down these 4 panels. Or 5 panels, and in the middle, as they're talking about Donatello, as if he's not there, and what they're going to do because the situation, they think it's more dire than what it is. You see your boy Donnie Robodon kind of like getting up, and something's happening to him, like he's in pain, and something's
he's transforming too, like something's happening,
And he starts to grow shoulder pads, and they do this whole thing where they're going back and forth, and all of a sudden he gets like at least like a foot taller than the other turtles. And
he's also like in this art at least twice as wide as they are.
Oh, absolutely.
In his abdomen.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's as wide as like 2 turtles.
Right. And so it's the classic thing where you're talking about somebody as if they're not there and they're actually there, and it's better than what you think. And and it's done extremely well. And then you see your boy Donatello looking like a football player, got like huge pads with spikes on them and bolts, and just like the Colossus arm and just decked out, like a brand new day, just.
It's Born to Love Again. He's a brand new man. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was trying to say. Yes.
I saw the light.
That's
what he heard when he woke up.
When he was on the astral plane, exactly. And then he came out. And he's like, all right. So
he had Brooks and Dunn. Yep. Turns out that's the official soundtrack of the astral plane is all Brooks and Dunn's greatest hits.
It is.
Do you just like floating around the astral plane with like Neon Moon playing? I can see that being great.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Like that's like you follow the neon light to get to the astral plane. That's how it works.
Oh yeah.
So Donnie's just like, what are you talking about? Like, there's nothing wrong with my armor. And they're like, wait a second.
What?
We watched it abandon you.
You were dead as hell.
You've been dead, not dead, and dead again, and then impersonated, and then all this kind of stuff, like a soap opera for the last like 15 issues or whatever. So like. It's just weird because remember the armor had sentience, and that left and went on to Lurch from Vanguard's crew, and he took off.
Who flew away and has not come back.
Yes, and so they're recounting that, and they're like, hold on, wait a minute. So like the computer, it's not with you anymore because the turtles are trying desperately to figure this out because the computer
it's crazy.
It's
crazy shit.
So
let's just be honest. Like it's
absolutely
been kind of maddening to read. Like
you're not wrong.
Like I like it. Just keeps going around. No, I like it too. But you just don't. There's too much Donnie. Donnie is like a dead alive. Yeah, and they're kind of like, okay, man.
It's kind of like when the cousin comes on the sitcom. You know what I mean? Oh, cousin Timmy's here. And then you're like, oh, goodness. When's he going to leave? And then he finally leaves, and they're like, are you sure? Did you double check? Like, he's gone. It's kind of like how we felt about Carter when Carter finally leaves. It's like, okay, good. He's college. Like, we've seen him, right? He checked in on Facebook at college. He's gone. Okay, good. That's what Leo's doing here. So he says, no, the CPU... asterisk, see below, it says central processing unit for those who didn't know in 98, and all its memories are gone. There's nobody in here but me, so that's kind of cool. So this is like clean slate, like reformatted Donnie back, just fresh out the box. So they talk about how he looks different. He goes, it's a lot harder to control, but everything, that's all cool. Like, this is really good news. The only problem is we don't know where Raph and Splinter are. Or no. Yeah. Because Michelangelo says that because Mikey is in the dark still. He doesn't know where Raph and Splinter are. But Donnie confirms that we both saw them on the astral plane, so they definitely were there. And then Leo, he's talking about so he explains to Mikey, because again, Mikey didn't know any of this stuff was going on. Talks about the body swaps, and he goes, and Raph and Splinter are prisoners of the Foot Clan, and it looks like Shredder is definitely back. We've got to get them free. Let's go. So that's interesting, because as Leo was in Raph's body, he didn't put together that Raph was
Raph was Shredder.
Yeah.
No
he
way.
just thought that Raph was in Shredder's bed, and Shredder had his helmet off. Interesting. Okay. I mean, who am I to say what Shredder does? I don't know. But they all have everyone has their thing. But
so apparently quite the experience if it puts you on the astral plane.
If it puts you on, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They probably give Shredder 5 stars on that that review. You know what I'm saying?
They call Maruku Saki because he's good in the sack. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Oh Jesus, that was too good. I had to take a breath, take a step away, because that
wrote good in the Saki.
No, don't make it any worse than what it is, because that was too good. Wrote good in the Saki. Oh goodness. Oh, so his brother is a Oroku not good in the Saki, because he wasn't good in the Saki.
Yes,
right.
Yes, okay, no. Okay. Oroku good, not good in the Saki.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Jeez.
And then there's a wrote good in the Saki.
Okay, so
put you on the astral plane. What's up with Leo? What's up with Leo looking like Bill Duke in the bottom of this panel?
Who's Bill Duke?
This last panel, he was in Predator.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, look him up. Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna look up Bill
a lot
Duke.
Of cool shit. Yeah.
Let's see. So Bill Duke. Let's see. I was
just
thinking
put
he was
in
one
Bill
of the
Duke
boys.
Put in Bill Duke Predator.
Oh,
he's the one that shaves with just a knife.
This dude. Yeah. Okay.
What's up with him looking like that right here? He looks like Bill Duke. Like
he kind of does.
You make another noise like that, and I swear I'll slit your throat myself. Like that's what he looks like.
Apparently, Father Preston's watching the live stream because he just sent me a text that says Bill Duke shaving. So let me look that up real quick because
Bill Duke, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I can see it a little bit there. Yeah,
he looks like Bill Duke to me. It looks like he's like make another noise like that, I'll slit your throat myself. There's a meme going around that's like that where people just saying like I just love the fact that like Bill Duke in Predator, his character's idea of calming down is sitting down and just shaving. Is just dry shaving.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, that's beautiful.
that's beautiful. Good. But yeah,
he looks like Bill Duke here.
But I can see crazy. Leo. I can see Leo doing the same thing with his katana blades. Like just just calming down. That's how he gets to the astral plane. Is he shaves? Dry shaves
what it is.
With his katana blades. But yeah, that's the issue. Everyone's caught back up. That's the issue
right there. Let's go. Let's go.
And so that's where we're at, man. So I enjoyed this issue. It was really nice. It came and went pretty quickly. Like it seemed like
it was a quick issue. Honestly. Yeah, it was.
A lot of stuff happened, but it seemed like it wasn't very drawn out. Like it came in and it did what it needed to do and was out. And I guess because a lot of it was done in the paneling, like you talked about. So all the astral plane stuff. But this was great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm really glad that Raph. I love Raph as Shredder. A Freaky Friday scenario. I can kind of it's so like played out and cliche. Almost every thing in fiction has had it or will have it. It's like inevitable at this point. But I
like the Freaky Friday with Great Expectations was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and Little Women's Freaky Friday was really
if you haven't read the part in the director's cut of Little Women where they do the Freaky Friday thing, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really great.
And so but I loved it in Annie. Like when it's just like Daddy Warbucks gets switched and it's like, oh, now I see she on the other side.
Oh my god, or like the Mask of the Red Death where everybody at the ball is like all of a sudden Freaky Friday, and then
exactly. Die. Oh yeah. So it's a thing.
That's a good director's cut.
Yeah. But I thought it was well done here to a great extent because you have at least more than one, like two people at play. Like I think that really helped to make it different.
I loved that it was blessedly brief.
Absolutely.
When I was getting the minute Leo got into Raph's body, I was like, this is going. I'm like, I fear. Mm-hmm. I wasn't confirmed. I was like, this is going to go too far afield.
Right.
Because if you get Leo into Raph's body, that means that Donnie went into Leo's body, which is what happened, which means Leo's going to go into Donnie's body. And I was just like, that's just too much shit.
Yeah.
I was like, if they try to keep this ball in the air.
Yeah.
And then you got to remember who's who, and they got to find a way to get back in the bodies and and switch the bodies right. I was just like, I kind of had this feeling like I'm not down for that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just not down for that.
No,
so the fact that they adapted it and they were like, oh no, it was like a weird information swap. And I love how Donnie's like, I want my shit back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the best thing where Donnie's like, because it's cool because he figures it out. He's like, I got put in this body, and I couldn't get my other body, so I'm gonna have to like stop. I'm gonna basically temporarily kill this body for me to get into it.
Yeah,
and hopefully like whatever, and they all kind of work it out. Like in the end, it's. I liked it. It was short, and it actually weirdly led to like a plot development because now Leo knows where they are.
Oh yeah.
So That was actually a best outcome, because at first I was like, if we're doing this where you've got Leo undercover in Raph's body being the Shredder, and Raph is in Donnie's body but he can't get out, and I'm just like, I can't do it. But they did it really well, actually.
I totally agree. Yeah, and I think that it to great effect, and it just worked. Now I also love Donnie's new digs, like his new get up, like. I think that was pretty neat. It's interesting that that's what he would decide to do, because it almost seems as if his previous form was influenced by the computer, the CPU, if you will. That's what he wanted to look like. But now this is kind of like what Donnie was wanting. Like, this is more his influence.
Yeah, I think the CPU was where, and the CPU and the memory that was there was. Yeah, what made the cyborg AI its own thing, and it jumped into Lurch and hauled ass.
Yeah,
which it's kind of cool to know technically how that works, I guess, for that symbiote. The fact that like he can leave his like body behind, like the body that he used as a host and that he fixed to live or whatever. That he doesn't have to take all that with him. That basically he just takes like his CPU and his main like memory drives, I guess, of like what he is, and he just gets the hell out of there.
Right. And
like, which is what happened.
Yeah, and I thought that was great. So yeah, this has all been really good stuff. And the Mikey stuff, like you brought it up earlier, but again, like Michelangelo, this is who he was. Like, he was the lover, and sometimes a little creepy, but he's a teenager, so he's saying all kinds of weird stuff like he does in movie 3 and whatnot. But But him being an artist and being a writer is deep in Mirage history. And I love touching back on that, because that just gives him so much more dimension. And so Donatello has his machines, Now you can chalk that up to being like, oh, he's the tech guy, but nevertheless, that's his thing. And it's kind of similar to what I guess all of them do it, except 2012 did it good with Leonardo, because it gave him a little bit of the sci-fi stuff. Like, he liked all the nerdy stuff. But Raphael has his other anger stuff. I guess you can count that, like the stuff he does with Casey, but that's still really just him fighting. I'd like to see Raphael have a little bit more of an extracurricular activity, if you will.
What's funny is I feel like they never really did this, like outside of this, which is this is a weird place to have this exist. But in the original, like in the 1990 TMNT film, the first film, it's not a big deal. But Raphael like meets Casey going topside to go see a movie.
Oh,
it felt like his kind of like thing he did was he like basically was super risky and like went out like among people and like went and like saw movies and shit.
Right.
And while that's okay, going to see a movie, some hobby, like that is a thing. Like if he likes to go out and see new movies, that is enough for me. Yeah, because it gives him something.
It does.
But you never really see that done again for Raph, to my memory. That he has like even if like every Friday he goes and sees a new movie. Like even that, I don't recall him ever having that really.
Yeah,
like he's just training all the time, basically. Like, or
I don't either.
Running around fighting.
But I like that idea. That's good. That's probably the closest thing I can think of, because because it's kind of like because I think of you and I think of Father Preston and Farmer Greg a little. Well, actually a lot of it. Y'all are all movie dudes. Like y'all like movies and y'all know stuff, all this stuff. So like that's your thing and that's your hobby and you know all this cool stuff about it, and that's really cool. So that could be Raphael's thing. Now, the only thing I wish they would do, but the problem is that they kind of spread that out throughout all 4 of the Turtles, because they all quote movies, because, obviously they couldn't go out. So that was how they were getting culture and stuff. I would have loved to see Raphael just continue to quote movies, and that would be really a neat thing to him.
I loved that treatment they did also in the first movie, which is also not really recreated in any other iteration, where Raphael, I feel like we're going back doing like a movie 1 review, which is weird, but how Raphael has a thick New York accent when the other Turtles don't.
Oh yeah.
Like that's cool to me. I remember when we reviewed it at the time talking about how like it seems like he's the one that goes topside and goes and sees movies.
Right.
He's the one that's like probably interacting with people.
Yeah.
And like you know, like in his like little outfit, like maybe in the shadows, like hey man, you got some gum? Like he's just out there like, oh, how about them Yankees? Like he's out there just like talking to people and shit, I think.
Yeah.
Seriously, I love this. That he's out there actually conversing with people, whether there's people that know he exists, like kind of the mythos they built about the pizza place in the animated series where like they're down. Like they know it's the turtles and they're down. Right. Whether he has allies like that seeing him with that rich New York accent and him going topside to see movies makes my imagination gets fertile thinking about like all the possibilities. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
And I start thinking about like, oh, does he have people on the inside that we don't know about? Like just some random teenagers that he just like shoots the shit with. But he picked that accent up from the streets. Right. The other turtles don't talk like him. Yeah. In the first movie. They don't. They have kind of regionless accents. Or Mikey has that surfer thing going on. Right. But like he probably got that from TV. Yeah. But like I wish there was another iteration, like the next iteration of the Turtles or something that maintained that had Raphael with that New York accent. He's a person of the people. He's out there going and doing stuff, and that's his thing. Yeah, is he's into just the culture of just hanging around. Right, he loves talking to people and shit. Yeah, that's a thing I could see him being really into. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. I can see now the Platinum Dunes movies kind of do that with their outfits. How Leo's got some of the different like traditional like stuff, and then Mikey's got some modern clothes, and I guess Raph does too a little bit. They kind of
nothing
do that there.
Interesting,
but nothing super interesting. No, it's all kind of just face value for that. But nevertheless, it's still something. But I would like to see more of that. But yeah. So, well, guys, is there anything we missed? Like, is there other stuff that you? Because we've done a lot. Like, we're almost at 300 issues or episodes.
Yeah, I mean, are you good in this, Aki? I mean, like, let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. How many stars are you getting on Google reviews?
Are you a rogue good in the Saki? Like,
are you a rogue not good in the Saki?
Like what? Like, do you get an average? You get a 3-star? Like Eric would give anybody? Eric would give a guy like that went to come fix a flat tire and flatten the other 3. That's a 3-star.
I mean, at least he did.
You know what I mean? Did you paint your door the same color? Is that a 0-star? Are you being stalked about it? Like what is it? Because like I gotta know.
Let us know.
I gotta know. Let us know.
turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can also listen to all of our episodes now on Spotify. On Spotify and anywhere else you can find podcasts, hopefully. And if you can't, let us know. Again, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. But if not, if that fails, you can go to the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com. All of our episodes are up there and in glorious audio form. And but if you like to see our faces, we're here every Thursday, technology willing, here on YouTube, 8 o'clock,
exactly.
8 p.m. Eastern time. And we start at 8. We have the pregame show. It's a lot of fun. So come hang out with other Turtletarians and shoot the shit with us for a bit, and then we get right into it. Let's see what else is there. Instagram and Patreon. That's the big thing. That's the thing that helps us to
help us out.
Helps us to keep from saying clang and make sure we're in the right body. And we use your life force in the form of 4 of coin. And and for as little as 4 coin, you can help support us by going over to Patreon and find we've done.
Make sure the mushrooms on top. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. And so that's that. And be sure to do that. And we'll be back I think next week because it's a new month and we'd already done the chef special.
It's a new month. We've already done the chef special. I did lament that a little bit. I was a little sad that tech issues got us screwed up again because like that chef special at the end of the month is always like my little like marker of like, all right, like we get to like fully cut loose, like like get to hang out with everybody for like a long time and it's a lot of fun. Right. But we got you that when I long time first time called into my own podcast live. That was the sports talk radio equivalent of Turtle Soup that you got earlier. But we'll be back next week. With Image 16. How many issues are in this run? I should know this.
I have it somewhere.
I should know this.
It's 20 something, so it's not. There's not very many, but we're getting close to 300. So we got
there's like Their
figure out
image
what we're
fans
doing.
just screaming at their monitor, at their
Well,
whatever. I'm seeing 23.
yeah, and I think that there's something where it gets finished, like there, like one issue didn't
It
come out,
does.
and
Yeah.
so we still have to figure out what we're going to do with that. And if y'all have any thoughts, again,
Yeah,
Total
it's got
Soup Show
finished much
gmail.com.
later, right? Wasn't it a crowdfunded situation where it got finished
Something
way
like that.
later, or maybe it got
Yeah.
finished when Image like put them back out again, or something happened that where it was like way later, like
again,
in the 2000s.
If you're new here, we stay in the dark as best we can because we're trying to experience this as going through it. And so that's why we don't know this off the top of our heads usually. But as far as that, we do know that. So again, let us know, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com or in the comments below. If you want us to read the entire thing, like if with the crowdfunded finished thing, whatever it is, the last issue, or if you want us to wait until that happens chronologically, how everyone else experienced it, let us know. But I think that's going to do it for us. So we'll catch you next week. Else time.